He's right here.
I see him.
He's low, his armor's broken.
Got him. He's down.
His teammate's there as well. Teammate.
Inbound.
Throw a frag over there. Oh! I got him. Got him down with the nade. Push him with me,
One's
push
up,
him with me.
At least. Oh, well, I have to put it on a plate, so I'm super low. No one needed.
Yeah, the bounty guy's still alive.
So low.
Nice.
So here's a video I didn't expect to be making. Despite Battle Royale games absolutely dominating the gaming space for quite a few years now, they've never really been my cup of tea. I got heavily into DayZ standalone just as H1Z1, the first real BR phenomenon, was taking off, and since then the closest I've come to playing one has been Danger Zone in CSGO. PUBG, Apex Legends, and God forbid Fortnite have all passed me by, but enough about all of that. We're here to talk about Warzone. I'm not entirely sure what it was about this game that really piqued my interest. Perhaps it felt more accessible than the aforementioned hardcore BR titles. I mean, after all, I was a COD player for years back in the day, and I did at least play the beta for Modern Warfare, so aside from some of the BR specific mechanics, I knew that I'd be more or less proficient with the basic movement and gunplay. From the few gameplay videos I saw, it also seemed to play more or less like Danger Zone, albeit on a scale I'm still struggling to get my head around. Pick an area to drop into, loot buildings like mad, and earn as much money as possible to spend on even better weapons and items. The addition of the Gulag certainly adds an interesting aspect to each match as well, but more on that in a second. Either way, a few days ago, I finally decided I should give it a go for myself, and after waiting for the 85 gigabytes
85 gigabytes, what the fuck?
download to complete, I was in. Okay, so if it wasn't already obvious from the gameplay in the background, I am not good at Warzone. At least, not by any reasonable standard. At least, not yet. Crucially though, I can feel that niggling drive within me to carry on playing and improving. It's early days yet, but I think this game might just have the ingredients to get me properly hooked. So let's start with the map. For someone who isn't a BR veteran, the sheer size and detail of it is, frankly, mind-blowing. Sure, I remember DayZ's Chernarus being stupidly huge as well, but if we're being brutally honest, the vast majority of it was empty fields and little villages, and I certainly never played with 149 other people. It's incredible just how immersive all of it is, with some wonderful attention to details in the textures, terrain, and sounds. I've already had some really tense moments that were accentuated by the creaky buildings and doors and the sound of distant gunfights. Oh, and the noise of the precision airstrike is downright terrifying. They really outdid themselves on that one. Looting is rewarding, and completing contracts is genuinely satisfying, especially when you finally track down and murder your bounty target for a massive payday. I also really like that almost all the weapons seem viable as long as you play to their strengths. Sniping is obviously excellent on such a large map, but you can also move from building to building with an SMG or a shotgun and absolutely ruin people up close. All that said, my first few games have certainly not been without frustration. Whilst the gunplay is mostly solid, there have been some confusing moments where my shots just don't seem to connect. I'm willing to chalk this up to inexperience with some of the weapons for now, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. Next, there's the route that the plane spawns on at the start of the match. I get the desire to introduce a random aspect here to avoid repetitiveness, but I've had several matches where the plane spawns right on the edge of the world, rendering most of the map totally inaccessible and forcing everyone to drop much closer together than they otherwise would. And then there's the Gulag, which is by far the most infuriating aspect of the game for me. The concept of a 1v1 duel to get straight back in the game is great, but when the stakes are so high, I'm just not at all sold on the execution. The prison bathroom style arena has too few clear sight lines, the inclusion of equipment like stun grenades feels cheap, and constantly getting pelted by stones from the spectators is just plain annoying. I don't know, maybe I'm just a noob, but I would love for it to be closer to the 2v2 gunfight mode from the main Modern Warfare game. A more open map, more variety in weapons, and slightly longer rounds. Whatever its flaws though, Warzone is first and foremost boatloads of fun. It's got just enough silliness to have that Battlefield sandbox vibe, and enough hardcore appeal to make me want to turn up my headset and try hard my pants off in search of that elusive win. I've really enjoyed my first few days with the game, and I'm definitely going to be making more content on it, so if there's anything you'd like to see, please do leave your suggestions in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and ding that bell so you never miss a video, and until then, I've been TheRoflRaptor, and I'll see you on the next one.